Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded up to pick 135 with the New England Patriots, and they have selected Aidan O'Connell, quarterback from Purdue. Today's show is presented by RexMD, and if you have a hard time getting it up, RexMD can help you out. Go to rexmd.com/chat. Link's going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's show. If you have watched the Raiders Report before, you'll know that I have been saying for months that the number one quarterback most likely that the Raiders end up taking, based on odds alone because of all the picks that they've had on day 3, is Aidan O'Connell. It's one of the biggest reasons why you should subscribe, turn on those noties. If you're a watcher of the show, this name is nothing new to you. I have been preaching from the rooftops that the Raiders love O'Connell. They have had 3 different individual visits with him, and he's a player that they have had circled on their big board for a while. The reason why the Raiders felt that they had to trade up here and get him is because Jake Kaner went in round 4, Stetson Bennett went, and they didn't want to have to risk to wait to see if they were going to be able to get him at 144. According to our scouting report here on O'Connell, he's a timing passer in a pro-style offense. He's got solid anticipation. Former walk-on, earned a scholarship, leaves Purdue with 4 years of reps. He's got a weird motion and average arm strength, but Josh McDaniels, and one of the biggest reasons why I put him on my list here is because McDaniels in a press conference said that the way he throws the football, you guys are going to laugh at this, reminds him of Tom Brady. I saw that note, and I instantly put Aidan O'Connell on top of my quarterbacks to look on day 3 list. You can say what you want about McDaniels and Ziegler, but they are predictable. If they like a guy, they're going to look at him, and that's going to be the player that they like and fall in love with. However, when you think about O'Connell, he's going to get in there. He's going to be a worker. He's going to go out and he's going to grind it out. This is going to be your backup to Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going to learn the system with Brian Hoyer behind him. And if you see an opportunity where Garoppolo doesn't play all that well, they might actually try to hand the keys of the car over to Aidan O'Connell. So my question to all of you is this. There were some good linebackers still on the board, some good corners on the board, some good safeties out there. Are you mad that the Raiders didn't go with a defensive player with this pick? Give me a yes or give me a no. I am obviously happy from a content creator that I got this one right. I knew the Raiders were going to take Aidan O'Connell, and it's like, yeah, we do have some sources here, believe it or not. YouTubers, but as a fan, no, I'm not happy. You should not have taken them in round 4. Las Vegas still has so many other needs that you need to do, and realistically, I'm curious to see where other QBs go. Like, if I can get a Clayton 2 in round 6, a Dorian Thompson-Robinson in round 6, those to me are better quarterbacks, not better fits in the system, but better overall quarterbacks than a guy like Aidan O'Connell in round 4. So the fact that you passed on Ivan Pace Jr., Owen Papo, Henry To'oTo'o, Noah Sewell, cornerbacks like Darius Rush, Corey Trice, Trey Tomlinson, Kyle Blue Kelly, like there were other players to me that the Raiders had a bigger need for, but because Ziegler and McDaniels, they find a guy, they fall in love with them, and they have been in love with O'Connell for a long time, that to me is why they ended up going with him. I like O'Connell. Round 4 with the amount of needs that this Raiders team has, don't absolutely love that. If you want to make love, I don't know, that's where I'm going to go with it. Shout out to today's sponsor, RexMD, the number 1 place for men's telehealth. Go to rexmd.com/chat, 90% off, and you only have to pay $2 per dosage. So realistically, I love RexMD personally, and I like it more for the benefits that you can get from a workout standpoint. Let's just hypothetically say you're not as young as you used to be. Well, guess what? I want you to get the most out of your workout. RexMD offers an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door and at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to try to find the right treatment plan, and their medication is made in the USA, so you can trust it is quality. Plus, their customer service team has 24/7 availability to answer any questions or concerns you may have. So if you're ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat and start your consultation today. Take advantage of their best deal they have ever offered and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/chat for up to 90% off. Let's continue to look here at the numbers from Purdue quarterback Aidan O'Connell, who the Las Vegas Raiders traded up for. Completion percentage last season with the Boilermakers, 64.1%, 3,490 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. O'Connell will not, I'll say, blow a lot of people out of the water with his overall athletic ability. He's a good decision maker, though. Timer passer in a pro style, smart, had a 32 on the Wonderlic test, Ivy League interests coming out of high school, very, very intelligent young man. O'Connell isn't a twitch mover or thrower and is guilty of trying to get away with throws he knows he shouldn't make, but he is a strong-minded, accurate, and touches the ball up at every level of the field. He has the skills and intangibles of a capable backup in the NFL. To me, that's what Aidan O'Connell is. He is going to be a good backup in the NFL for a very, very long time. And if that's the guy that you want, great. Just because the Raiders selected Aidan O'Connell, and I tried to tell you all this, when the Raiders brought in Brian Hoyer, I looked at every single one of y'all dead in the eyes, and I said, the Raiders will 100% take a quarterback in the draft. Some people were like, no chance, Mitch. And then I said, it's going to be Aidan O'Connell. Well, now it's Aidan O'Connell. But now the fact that you have him as your probably going to be your backup quarterback next to Brian Hoyer, to me, this doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, next season he's going to be the guy. No, to me, what it says is you have a young backup who's going to be able to learn the system. And if you're the Raiders, and let's say you're in a spot where you're in the top 10, well, you're in the top 10 for a reason, so go out and get yourself a franchise quarterback. If Jimmy Garoppolo has success this season, and let's just say the Raiders are a playoff caliber team, well, now you have somebody who you might be able to turn the keys over to in 2 years from now. So just because this is the pick, that does not mean it is the future whatsoever for the Raiders. Now, here's my question. What is the percent chance Aidan O'Connell starts at least one game for the Raiders? Scale it from 1 to 100. I'll say this. I think that there's a chance he starts at least 4 games this season. And that's more based on, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play a full 16. And if Jimmy Garoppolo goes down, they might try to roll with Brian Hoyer. But to be honest with you, I think Aidan O'Connell's probably a better quarterback right now than Hoyer. Just Hoyer's on the team to be a player coach, to help somebody put underneath his wing, learn the McDaniels offense, and go. If you're confident that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play a full season, I wish I had your confidence. You know, I really do. You're probably using RexMD all the time. For me, though, I don't have that confidence that he is going to be out there. So for that reason, I do think O'Connell's going to get on the field at least sometime this season. So the Raiders this offseason, their cap space is at $16 million. This is the updated numbers after the contract restructure of Chandler Jones, which happened yesterday. But you lost Derek Carr, no doubt about it. The Raiders wanted to get Tom Brady this offseason. Once that plan failed, they said, okay, let's look at some other options. And now because of this pick, for those of you watching live, there was a big-time run on quarterbacks. In this round alone, like I said earlier, you had Jake Haener go, you had you had Stetson Bennett go to the Rams, the Raiders went with Aidan O'Connell, and then the Arizona Cardinals just traded up at 139, and they selected quarterback Clayton Tune out of Houston. And then the Browns, they just drafted another quarterback out of UCLA, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So the Raiders right now, they really forced a run on QBs, which is potentially one of the reasons why they felt like that they had to trade up. A lot of quarterbacks just went in round 4 and round 5. As it stands right now, Raiders went Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, Byron Young, Trey Tucker in round 3. As you can see, defense, offense. Then they took Jacorian Bennett, who they traded up for, cornerback out of Maryland. I like that pick. And then they went offense, Aidan O'Connell. So by this logic, and because the Raiders are so predictable, next player is going to be a defensive player. And I want you to be subscribed. We're going to break it all down for you. The Raiders' next pick is 204, round 6, okay? That means round 6, 204, and then they have 2 7th-round picks. That is all the remaining picks that the Silver and Black have in this year's draft. I believe if my math serves me correct. That's wrong. They have picks 203, 204, 220, and 231. So we still have 3 more picks, so make sure you're subscribed. Now is going to be your opportunity for those of you watching us live to continue to interact with us. I know we have a bunch of people here, so for those of you watching live, shout out to you. If you're not watching live, join the chat right now because this thing is getting out of hand.